All right, let's flip the script here and talk the same topic we've talked a million times that we thought was coming to an end. you come on the show Monday, Tuesday. You want to know what we were talking about? How it was over. How the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, they found their guy, and his name was Marquez Valdes Scantling, and he was signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Only for him to yet be signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, for Mike Tomlin to give a very cryptic, well, we also worked out Eddie Jackson and Von Bell answer when asked if he was signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then for good old Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Jerry Dulac saying today he's not signing. And maybe he signs down the road, but after the Pittsburgh Steelers make other moves at the position, which tells me the Pittsburgh Steelers are back open for business, and that is exciting. The Steelers trade window flew back open. They're looking. The Kyle Duggar trade, in my eyes, at least a little bit, kind of showed me the Steelers, they're going to try. They really are going to try. And then this report from Jerry kind of reinforced that to say, I don't know what they're going to do. We've gone through a million hypotheticals. I don't know what the exact outcome is. But I do know that they're not going to settle for Marquez Valdes Scantling. They're going to look for other options. And then if that doesn't work out, they'll go back. Or if they need more, they'll go back, which might be a possibility because Scotty Miller just broke his finger and nobody knows when he's going to play next. I mean, a wild turn of events. But I will ask you because I had an emotion when it happened, and I'm curious if you had the same emotion. Were you excited to see that the Pittsburgh Steelers were actually not signing Marquez Valdes Scantling and are actually waiting for another move to happen?
Oh God, yes. I mean, it wasn't even close. The excitement, elation, jubilation. You can add a lot of words onto that. But I mean, yeah, there's just no need. And when we were talking about it yesterday, that one little thought that I had mentioned about well, maybe they're just trying to leave space for another move, or they're trying to just keep their options, available and flexible through the trade deadline. Seems like that is what they're absolutely trying to do, and I think that is an excellent decision on the Steelers' part. They know they have Marquez Valdes Scantling just waiting. It's not like the 49ers released him with an injury settlement. There's not all these teams knocking at his door begging for him to come join their organization. The Steelers know that they have someone that Aaron Rodgers has a rapport with, trusts,
Yes.
has chemistry with, just
Yes.
waiting. You don't have to sign him today. You can go out there. You can still be aggressive in these remaining 6 days through the trade deadline. You can go out there and make every call if you're Omar Khan. Yeah, it made me so excited that the Steelers are still leaving the door open to improve further. If this is, I have to say, I do still feel like he's going to sign.
Yeah.
It's going to be really disappointing next week if he signs and no other move is made and they just left this, exciting, tension-filled time for a week just to sign him, and that's the addition. That's going to be a huge bummer if that's the way this goes. But I like that for now, that window is very much open to make a bigger move to bring in that bigger piece as a wide receiver too.
I agree with you. It will be so disappointing if that's what happens. I'm confident, a little bit confident, but I have some confidence level that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to go get a different wide receiver that's actually going to work out in their favor, and they're going to go that route. I don't know who it's going to be. If I had to guess, it remains Jacoby Myers. Like, it just, to me, like, he wants out. He's making it publicly known he wants out. Send me somewhere else. The Raiders stink. They're going to ship him out of town. There's no reason to not ship him out of town. If you could get him for a 6th round pick, which I think is what his value will be when the trade happens, that's what you're going to send for him. I think for right now, there are all these reports floating around that, oh, he's worth this much money and the Steelers or the Raiders want this for him. No, I don't believe it. What I believe is that teams are sending this to insiders saying, we want a 3rd round pick, to try and get teams to offer them a 3rd round pick. And Omar Khan's going to say, we'll give you a 7th. I'll let you work me down to a 6th and feel good about yourself in the process. And then he's going to go for that. The Saints, on the other hand, with Rashid Shaheed is like my second guess, but I actually believe them when they say we want a 3rd round pick, because they're stubborn and it makes no sense but they will do that. But I would guess those are my two. And I have a confidence level that that's going to happen because it does. Like, it just kind of feels like the Steelers had their easy answer right in front of them. And they said, no, let's try something else. Let's see how much we could flip this around and figure this out. And look, shout out to them, man, because 48 hours ago, we all just said roll over and die. You know what I mean? Give it up. There's nothing left for you. Let us all kick you while you're down. There's no coming back from this. And in 48 hours, they have said and made it known pretty publicly, we're going to give it our best shot here. We're going to see what we can do. And it might not work, but we're going to give it an A effort, you know? And okay, if you're going to do it, you're going to do it. Would you be surprised if they traded for somebody and signed Marquez, Valdes, Scantling?
No, I think that would be a smart move because they need more talent at the wide receiver position. So, I mean, it would surprise me that they would make two smart moves, I think, but it wouldn't surprise me that they that they would make two moves at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, it's pretty it's pretty crazy to think that the Steelers might actually pull this off and kind of like get a laugh in our face real fast to just be like, we did it. We did it.
Wild.
Shout out to them. All right, we'll do it again here. Who's your guess? We've asked this question. I've asked this question to you 30 times, and then it faded. It went away. Now it's back. Who's your guess?
For receiver, I think it's no. I want it to be Rashid Shaheed. I don't think it's gonna be. I agree with you about the Saints being extremely stubborn. Man, I threw the thumbs down at you when you said it, but it's not because I disagree with the rationale or logic. I just don't want it. And I think it's Jacoby Myers from the Las Vegas Raiders because it seems like the Steelers are, if the Duggar trade is the way that this is going, if that's like the methodology, like they're not going after players that you have to pry out of the organization. And that's a Rashid Shaheed, right? But
yes,
you look at Jacoby Myers, the Raiders are just hoping someone gives them a pick that they like. So yeah, that feels like the Steelers' alley.
I watched a podcast the other day. Shout out to my boy Hondo Carpenter, who completely ripped the Raiders offense and Chip Kelly and everything going on there, and just said like, look, they stink. Like, this is a really bad football team, and those are the bad teams that they'll ship you out of town for nothing, and that's what's going to happen. That is the one guy that's going to get – he is the one name that is going to be shipped out of town for nothing. And what I think gives the Steelers a better opportunity here is that Buffalo is viewed as a real talent, and the Denver Broncos are within their division, and they're the two other teams looking for wide receivers. Pittsburgh looks like a shot, a horse with a broken leg right now, just trying, limping across the finish line. Yeah, and Vegas is like, yeah, toss him over there, whatever. He's not going to do anything.